there, and if it's trauma, it's on the table and it's supine. That's correct. You can't ever lay them on their face if it's trauma. You don't do that. And that is very bright. Wow, that's annoying. So I just want to
get over it.
I just want to be like bright light, and run away. You know. So yeah, okay. So
You gotta do that.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
Are you sitting down?
All right.
Take it off.
So you're gonna spin the other way.
I'll edit it later if I want.
Yes, it's the Caldwell view. So you're going to start out facing toward the board, and you're going to place your nose and forehead against the board. All right, so this is the basic kind of start point here for our Caldwell. We're going to angle 15 degrees. All right, kind of get it lined up here. I'm going to have you slide over this way just a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Now see, here's one of those things I always tell you about. If you're looking at your patient directly from behind, I can see the mid-sagittal plane and see if he is tilted or rotated. From your position, I cannot see that. I can see his skull from the side, and I can see where the positioning lines are, but I can't see tilt and rotation. That's why I say you have to move around your patient, right? And so through the course of taking this exam, you should move to see the person from multiple different angles, so you can be sure if they're lined up correctly or not. Yeah, I'm gonna move over a little bit. This. All right. So what I want to do, I'm gonna bring this up a little bit.
Turn on the light.
Yeah, you can turn off the light if you want. It doesn't matter. You can see this is where my central ray is. Look, there's right where his nasion is. So if you've got a straight edge, even though his face is touching the IR, it's really easy to see where your central ray is exiting. And I told you, it's a simple, easy trick. Once you learn it, it's simple, right? And of course, that's basically take a straight edge, line it up where the anatomy is, and then make your crosshairs match. Okay, so in this case, if I wanted it to exit the nasion, it would come down maybe 1/4 of an inch where it's lined up exiting his nasion. Okay, now here's the problem with this. By the book, we're going to have everything lined up exiting the nasion. But once you collimate down to like your 10 by, one of the things you're going to notice is I'm clipping now the top of his cranium. So even though by the book, this is technically right, that would be a failed comp. I would look at that and I'd say, hey, you clipped the top of the cranium, why did you do that? And so what I want you guys to do is if I ask you, hey, where's the central ray? You're going to say the book says central rays exit the nasion. However, neighbors, I cheated up to make sure that I wasn't clipping the top of his cranium. And then yes, you would move, go ahead, move the bucky up to correspond to your central ray. So, and that's the way that it should be. Now, to make sure that this is a good view, there are a couple of landmarks we can check and make sure that this is correct.
Oh, you moved.
Yeah, we'll set them back. Yeah. Patients move, that's how they are. All right, but not during a comp, right? Now, I want to see if this OML is lined up, so I'm going to go right here, go from the corner of his eye back to his ear. He's one of those magical people where his nose and forehead really does line up his OML. So he's one of the nice people. Some people it won't line up, okay? You're going to have to get them to balance like on their nose or something to line up the OML. The other thing you want to do, so I'm going to open this light field up so you can see, I need from the top of his cranium, which means I need to be able to see a little bit of light field above the top of his cranium. I like about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch that I can see, but I also need to make sure I got the base of the skull. The spot you're looking for is again that mastoid tip. If I find for the mastoid tip and I put my pen right on the mastoid tip, it needs to be within the light field. If you can see it in the light field, you know you've got the base of the skull. If you don't see that mastoid tip, you are clipping the base of the skull, which means you either need to open up your collimator or, you want to see it again?
Yeah.
All right, see there, see here's the bottom of my light field?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely within the light field.
Okay.
Okay, so I like this collimation, it's pretty good. Now side to side, I like coming into the ears. All right, everybody's ears stick out further than their cranium. So if you got the ears, right, and light field just to the ears, it means you've got probably a good 1/2 an inch or so outside the cranium. Okay, so that's going to be a pretty good Caldwell. All right?
I mean, what marker do you like?
You can put either left or right, it doesn't matter. I don't care, just so long as it's not in the anatomy. And of course, you've got a nice area up here and a nice area over here, which just begs to put a marker.
I have another question though.
Yes.
For someone like me, if I'm the patient and everything, I will take off my glasses, or
Sure.
is it okay?
Perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. What was that?
I said for someone like me, but I have to take off my glasses or just leave them.
No, you gotta take off your glasses. Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
it was plastic and it's not like metal or anything?
I'd still take off your glasses.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make you smash your glasses up
Even the
against the
earrings,
IR. You
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Earrings, all
Yeah, it
that.
might bend your frames or something. You're not gonna do that.
Okay.
So yeah, always
No,
take
just
off
making sure.
glasses. Yeah. Yeah, and technically you should take off earrings and things like that too. As long as you mention that when you first come in and you say, and you do the whole questionnaire of what's your name, you know, what's your date of birth and all that stuff. Tell them, hey, I need you to remove any earrings or anything like necklaces.
Everything from the
and
And the
things.
shield, they only need just a little shield here, or you give them the whole shield?
No, you just use a waist shield. Waist shield's fine.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. So now I'm going to take the angulation off. All right. So now we're going to do our two laterals because it makes sense. We just did our PA. So now we're going to come down and do our laterals. Open up my light field so we can see what we're doing again. And in this case, we're going to do our right lateral. So what I want you to do is you're going to turn. Go ahead and rotate your body some. You can even move your, well, whatever. It doesn't matter. But sit up kind of straight. There you go. All right. So the reason why you don't want them to slouch is because it sometimes tilts them, right? Because they're slouched forward. So if you get them to sit up nice and straight and kind of balance on their ear, not on their face, but on their ear, it's going to get them closer to that true lateral position. Now I want you to step over there, Dario, and look straight on at his face and tell me, is he in a true lateral position or not?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I'm going to get in there and look, and let's see. You're correct. He's not. He's rotated, and you can tell he's rotated because here's that mid-sagittal plane. It's closer to the IR, ooh, sorry, than it is out here. Sorry, man.
That's a little better. Don't
We're-
put your cheek down.
Yeah, we're punishing our patient, sorry. But his face is rotated closer to the IR than it is out here. It should be even, right? And he looks like he might have a slight bit of tilt, maybe. So let's see. Nope, don't. I'll adjust you. There you go. Like,
Now you really got to play with their faces and everything, huh?
yep, that's true. You can't position people without
Jimmy, wear
touching them.
gloves.
So, all right. So now he's in a true lateral position. So now you can look at it and see that he's lined up straight, right? And the other way that you can check this is you can also check your IPL and your mid-sagittal plane. So let me get where you are again. Here's his IPL, right? It should be perpendicular to the IR, and there's his mid-sagittal plane, right? And it should be straight up and down, okay? His nose is a little crooked though. Sorry.
I'm looking 3 times.
Oh, wow. Okay, we'll shift it that way. So, relax, buddy. It's okay. It's all good. It's all good, man. So, the book says 2 inches above your EAM. So, we're going to test this theory. Now, again, you'd have to turn your cassette, turn it crosswise, right? Because the skull is going to be longer than it is tall. So, you want to turn it to that transverse position. And then we can start collimating and see where we are. If you clip off the tip of his nose, doesn't matter, right? It's not cranium. I need the back of his skull and the frontal bone, the top, which is your parietal, and I need to make sure that I've got, oh, sorry, it's on there. Boom, you can see it. It's fun, I can actually see it on your phone too. But what I also want to do is make sure that I've got the mastoid tip on there. So here's the mastoid. It is definitely within my light field. So I definitely have it on there. All right? And that collimation is definitely smaller than a 10 by. Okay? So as long as your collimation is smaller than a 10 by cassette and you have all the pieces, parts of the cranium in there, then you've done good. Okay? So, yeah, just don't do some of the crazy. I've seen some people do some kind of crazy stuff where they'll like open up their collimators all the way and say, oh, well, it's on the film because it's in the light. That's not true. And sometimes you can pull out your cassette and just look at the, it's just a 14 by, but if you had a 10 by cassette in there, you can look at the dimensions of the cassette and tell whether it's on there or not, you know? So I've seen some situations that are kind of like this where, you know, It's like off the, nowhere it could be anywhere on the film. They're like, oh, but it's in the light field. Who cares, you know? Doesn't matter. So, all right, relax for a second. Drop this down again. The other lateral is just going to be just like this lateral, so we're not